you down.
What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and I'm joined by two fantastic, fucking hell, I can't even talk. We've got KENDALL, who is a Newcastle fan, got her own channel, absolutely smashing it. We've got Jack, part of Leicester Fan TV. The links are in the description below. So before we even start this, stop, go over, go in the description, go and subscribe to their channel before we even fucking start. So you've got 10 seconds to do it, and I'll count you down, you fuckers. 10, 9. You're getting the hint, aren't you? Right. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the channel. Obviously, you were probably thinking, who's this random fucking Toffee fan that wants a video with us? We're not even playing soon. What the fuck's going on? And all it is I've been doing a new series called The Chasing Pack, and this video is part of that. The Chasing Pack is essentially a video where we just talk about the Premier League, we talk about our respective clubs, and more importantly, we talk about, plans for your clubs, where the clubs are going. I'm very interested to hear from KENDALL and where she thinks Steve Bruce and Newcastle are going, and
about that one.
and I'm incredibly interested to hear what you think of Brendan Rodgers, Jack, because obviously he's done a great job, but typical Brendan Rodgers form. You probably should be a Champions League team this season, but typical bottle job from Rodgers there. I'm just going to briefly touch on Everton, very briefly, just because there's some news. Gerard Branthwaite, young lad for Everton, very, very good centre-back. He's just joined Blackburn on half a season loan. He needs the game time, so I'm all for that. Everton's AGM is going on right now, and it's been confirmed that Everton only spent £60 million in the summer, which was Alan, Decore and Ben Godfrey, and Konku was 200 grand, and James Rodriguez was a free transfer, so that's been confirmed. Stadium's going ahead as planned, Blues, which is fucking exciting as well. So hopefully we'll have planning permission and a new stadium on the horizon. It's not a bad fucking time to be a Toffee. Now, let's move on to the Premier League. Let's get that shit out of the way. I'm going to start with Kendall, who is certainly in this situation a rose in between two thorns, I would say here, mate. Don't you agree, Jack?
Yeah, definitely.
What's your thoughts on the Premier League this season?
I think it's just a mad season. Like, I like it. I don't like that the fans obviously aren't there and like that frustrates me because I've had a season ticket since 2006 for Newcastle, so I'm not used to not going to games. Even when I was in uni in Edinburgh and stuff, I still went to games. So it's like been difficult not going. But in terms of like the actual Premier League and stuff, it's hard watching the games when there's no fans there, and that's fair enough because it feels like a bit of a training game, if you will.
Yeah.
But I love the competitive nature of it again. Like, obviously Villa's doing well. Southampton are like randomly, because I mean they haven't, as long as I can remember, they haven't like really been like a top 8 side for a long time. So nice to see them up there. I think Hassan Hüttl's doing a really, really good job. But I quite like it. I like that there's actually a title race this time. It's not like 2 teams. I mean, I know we're not halfway through yet, but nearly there. And it's not like 2 teams who've like escaped everybody else. It's like from first down to like 10th, 11th. It's really, really close this year. So I love that. I like it. I just think it's exciting. It's better. I mean, not that I'm any like my club's anywhere near it, like, but it's nice to see others.
I just had this vision of because the thing is with Stevie Bruce as well at Newcastle, he does sometimes get results, like he pulls wins together, like he'll get 1 or 2 wins on the trot. And you've just said all of that, and genuinely, there's like 6 points between Newcastle and Everton or something. And it's scary. And as you rightly say, the Premier League is just it's unbelievable this season. I mean, who had Leicester as 3rd? I mean, fucking hell. No, I'm joking. It is mad. And you are right. I think there's teams that have surprised me. Southampton, agreed. I think you could probably throw Everton in the mix as well. I think we've surprised a few. I think Villa's a massive one for me. Villa have got 2 games in hand. And if they win them 2 games in hand, or 3 games in hand after Sunday, they could be top of the league. Yeah. Aston fucking Villa. I mean, it's a team. I mean, they're doing a Leicester. They stay up on the last game of the season, and they win the fucking league. You'd piss off.
I think it'd be class.
Imagine fucking hell. Jesus Christ. We will get onto your clubs. We will, but I was going to ask Jack the same question. So what's your thoughts on the Prem this season, bud?
Same as you guys. It's a mad season, isn't it? It's very close at the top. You have to look over your shoulder, don't you, because of other teams. And with the fans in the stadium, it's not really a home advantage anymore, is it? It's anyone can beat anybody, and it's anyone's game. It don't matter how big the club is or how small they are. Everyone's getting results. Look at Fulham yesterday against Tottenham. You wouldn't expect Fulham to go to Tottenham and get a 1-1 draw.
No, you wouldn't.
And then you've got teams like, obviously Fulham beat Leicester, didn't they? You wouldn't have expected that. The run Fulham was on losing streak. But Sheffield United are struggling this season without the fans, and so are Burnley. And I guess it just takes the toll on players, doesn't it? Because they ain't got them fans to like push them on as such. And with the fans in the atmosphere, it gives them that real big boost to give them a big amount of confidence to like go and win a game. And without the fans, they haven't got that after. It's just really quiet, and you can hear them swearing this, that, and the other. It's just crazy.
Yeah, you're spot on. And to be fair, it's been mad, because you hear the conversations the players are having on the pitch. Like, I mean, fucking hell. What was it? Who was it? Was it against Wolves? It was somebody against Wolves, and he says to Adama Traore, look at him, he's a great big fucking shit house after he knocked him out.
Like a brick shit house.
It was the Arsenal game. Rob Holding.
Rob Holding, and you sit there and you think, fucking hell, as if you say that on a pitch in front of him. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking hell. I mean, it is mad, and I think for the teams that are in and around it, I think it's an exciting season. Kendall, I'm really sorry. I mean, you can't really put Newcastle into that equation at the minute. Look, you never know. You were fucking robbed of that takeover in the summer, so we will go on to that in a minute. But for Everton and Leicester, it's quite an exciting season, really, because there is an opportunity for both of us to get into the top 4. You you can't necessarily say we're going to do it. You can't say we've got the same strength or depth as, say, Spurs or Chelsea, for example. But we're holding our own, which is positive. You guys will have the same thing we have. And again, Kendall, I don't mean to be disrespectful to Newcastle, but, Everton have played the bigger teams like the Chelseas and the Tottenhams, and we've won. We beat Tottenham away. We beat Leicester away, as you know, Jack. But then we lose to Southampton. We lose to Newcastle. And it weren't necessarily losing to Newcastle or losing to Southampton. That's not the issue. You lose to Premier League teams. They're good teams. I mean, Newcastle are a pain in the arse, Kendall. I mean, I was there last season. 2-0 up we was. 2-0 up, 93rd and a half minute. Yeah. They scored. Who the fuck comes on? Lejeune. Who the fuck is Lejeune? He comes on, scores an overhead kick and makes it 2-2 after Pickford stands in his own. I mean, honest to God, it was fucking soul destroying. That's what it was. And, we didn't even turn up. And you expect Everton on paper to give these teams at least a game. I've got no problem going away from home and losing to a Premier League team, but it was the performances. And then we lost to Leeds at home and West Ham at home. And you sort of look and you think, Everton are on 32 points this season. Man United are on 36. They're top of the league. There's 4 points gap between 5th and 1st. That's a fucking madness. It's a madness.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and you're right. And I think for teams like Everton and Leicester, this is the opportunity that we've probably not had in a while to get ourselves competing again. Kendall, let's get on to Newcastle, because it's a different conversation with Newcastle, because Newcastle is definitely safe. They've got no issues with relegation. I really like some of the players in the Newcastle team. I like Lascelles. I like the 2 goalkeepers you've got. Is it Darlow and
Darlow and Dubravka?
Yeah, I like both of them. Both good goalkeepers. You've also got the other lad at the back. I never pronounce his name right. Is it Shah?
Yeah, it's Shah, but I think most people call him Shah. But if you want to speak German, it is Shah.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's fucking brilliant. And then you've got a playmaker with a quality passing players like John Joe Shelvey, who can literally put the ball anywhere on a football pitch. With creativity of players like Saint Maximin, Almiron. And then you have got some physicality. Certainly signing Callum Wilson was huge for Newcastle, because, I think it's fair to say Joe Linton hadn't quite pulled up any trees, as you probably expected. Should Newcastle be higher in the league?
On paper, with the squad that you have, you would think so, because I don't think our squad's poor. We signed Jamal Lewis as well, which was a decent signing, a decent young signing, who really impressed at Norwich last season, and unfortunately went down. But that says nothing. Callum Wilson was in the Championship with Bournemouth at the time, and he's been phenomenal for us, even regardless of the service that he's been getting. So on paper, that squad shouldn't be where it is. It's just the manager's making it like that, and the manager's making it where it is. And it translates onto the pitch, like the crap negativity and the defensive football that Steve Bruce likes to play. It's displaying in the players like Shah, who have been so vital for us for 2 seasons now. And under Rafa, Shah was getting interest from Inter Milan and teams like that. Do you know what I mean? So you look at him now and he's not even remotely the player that he was at all. Jamal Lewis is regressing, which at 22-year-old, that's not what you want. You want to be having the seasons of your career, coming in, your prime years, where you're gonna try and get into a big club and be a big player. You don't want to be regressing. That's the last thing you want. And yeah, the long staffs, they just look awful this year. Not 2 seasons ago, Sean Longstaff was going to Man United for 50 million.
Do you know what? I was going to mention both of those players, because those two almost seem to have fell off a cliff. I remember when he started both of them against Man United, if I remember, at Old Trafford, and I remember the one scored the winner.
Yeah,
and it was a brilliant goal. It was good team play, and I remember speaking to John, my co-host at the time, who is in the comments. So guys, Johnny's here. He's in the comments. He's answering some of you. it's weird to see how far they've fallen, if you get what I mean. They've almost fell out of love, and they're local Geordies, aren't they? So it's just surprising. Do you put it down to Bruce? I mean, for anyone outside Newcastle, we had exactly the same happen to us when we lost Marco Silva, because people were saying, why would Carlo Ancelotti go to Everton? You need to settle for David Moyes. You know, you need to appreciate where you are and all that bollocks. And it was a tough pill for Everton fans to swallow. And in the end, Everton showed they are ambitious and they want to go and get a top manager. How did it feel losing Rafa and getting Bruce? Like, I can't imagine how that felt as a fan base.
Look, I think anyone knows Rafa Benitez. He's one of the best managers that's ever been. Like, he has won every domestic cup possible. I mean, even down to the Championship. Like, a manager like Rafa Benitez managing Newcastle in the Championship was something probably 6 years ago. People be like, that's never happening. And he did, because he stayed and he wanted the challenge, and he said, I'm staying for the fans. Like, that's it. I'm staying for the fans. That's all. And when we knew his contract wasn't getting a new contract, it was coming to an end. He wanted power that Mike Ashley wasn't willing to give him. Like, Rafa wanted to be the manager of Newcastle. He didn't want to be the head coach. He wanted to be the manager. He wanted to restructure the academy. He wanted better facilities at the training ground. I mean, we're still like bathing in paddling pills and bins. Like, that is God's honest truth. We still haven't called baths in a bin. And Rafa wanted to like change that, and he wanted to restructure everything and look to extend the stadium, just things like that. And Mike Ashley didn't want to give him that, because Mike Ashley is all about himself. He's selfish, he's egotistical, he's really bastard. Like, that's just all he cares about himself. So he just didn't want to hand over that power. And I remember I was in my car on the way home from work, and it said like Rafa had left, and I was in my car, sat and cried, because I was like, I actually don't know where this leaves us now, because I knew that not one single decent caliber manager was going to come under Mike Ashley. I knew that. So I thought, right, well, we're getting Nigel Pearson, Tony Pulis. Like, that's where I was heading. Never in a million years did I think that Steve Bruce was going to be the manager. I thought it was going to be someone like that, you know, like that classic British manager. Dinosaurs, if you will. But I just didn't think that it would be him, because the last person that you think is like your rival's ex-manager. He's got no loyalty whatsoever. He's managed Villa, he's managed Birmingham, he's managed Sheffield United and Wednesday, and now Sunderland and Newcastle. He's got no loyalty whatsoever. He's just not.
But he is a Newcastle fan, isn't he?
So he says, but I think he's a bullshitter, to be honest, because like if you really cared about your club, would you have them playing like that? No. Would you like go on the way you do, calling fans keyboard warriors? Like, when we got beat off Brentford in the Carabao Cup, he was like, oh, I think there's been some histrionics going on off the defeat. I was like, how is it histrionics? Like, we've just got beat off a Championship side who is actually better than us. Like, that is not histrionics. That's like embarrassment. When you spent £100 million since you've been here, it's genuinely embarrassment. So don't even he's a plastic Geordie. The only thing Geordie about him is where he was born. I don't care who he is, right? He's not a plastic Geordie. He's just an idiot. Honestly,
brilliant.
I'm not the type to like attack his personal character, because I think you can separate a person who like someone's personality and as who they are as manager. But honestly, the way he's gone on is embarrassing. If he wants to be a Geordie, he's a Man United agent. I'm telling you, he's a Man United agent.
Fucking hell. 100%. Do you know, I fucking love you.
100%. Look, he wants the cast off. He wants Phil Jones from Man United. Oh my God. Not even bloody Exeter City want to take Phil Jones. Why would we want Phil Jones? When like centre-back is probably our strongest, I would say probably our strongest area of the team. We've got Lascelles, Shah, Fernandez, who has been phenomenal for like 3 years, like underrated for us. We've got Kieran Clark, Paul Dummett can play as a centre-back, Isaac Hayden can play as a centre-back, Lejeune's out on loan, who is probably, I would say, our second best defender. And why are you looking at that and thinking, I'll take Phil Jones off your hands for you? It's like,
fucking hell.
Why?
Fucking
like, literally,
brilliant.
why? Just honestly, just tell me why, because
I'll tell you what, honestly, I'd have, oh my fucking hell. Absolutely. The comments, by the way, are going absolutely. Yeah, so they all love you. But this is because this channel genuinely, like, no bullshit. This is like we say it as it is. I once called Ronald Koeman a cunt, for example. Just, you know, I was as brutal as as that. So, yeah, a lot of people are saying a lot of nice things about you. Stop the fucking smut, for fuck's sake. There's a question here from Connor. May I ask Kendall? Fucking hell, how polite are you, Connor? Jesus
that
Christ.
was very polite. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
What she wants to happen to Newcastle going forward, massive club, needs changes, surely. Now, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up anyone's arse, because I think Newcastle have a big stadium. And as a result, it had been the one city club, a big fan base, and they've got loyal fans, vocal fans, great fucking fans. But I don't necessarily think in terms of the trophies and the history, I don't necessarily put Newcastle as a big club. But you can see they've got all the potential to be a big club. And certainly, if you'd have had that takeover in the summer, you probably would have. You'd have had a stronger team now, wouldn't you? I mean, it goes without saying.
The takeover, going by net worth, would have been one of the top 10 richest clubs in the world.
Yeah, by a country mile. To be fair, I think if I'd remembered correctly, I think you would have been by a country, literally by billions of pounds, because I think the people that were buying Newcastle had something like, well, they were a country, so it was like 150 billion pounds sitting there. So what do you need to do? What needs to change? Is it genuinely just Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce?
Yes, that's an issue, because obviously Mike Ashley has been owner of the club since 2006. I'm 25, so when he took over, I was 11. So basically, all I've known is Mike Ashley. Yeah. Obviously, I remember John Hall and Freddie Shepherd. I remember that, but not as obviously I haven't lived it in my adult life or anything like that. When I started really getting into football, I've only known Mike Ashley, so I've only known shit to basically, and I can't remember anything good about our club apart from 5th with Alan Pardew. That was all right.
Fucking hell, 7-year contract.
It only ran out like in October last year.
I know.
So yeah, so all I've known is crap, and like what needs to happen is we need a takeover, but we need a takeover who. And the person at the helm of the takeover needs to invest in the club, because that's what we haven't had for like years. We've never had investment in the club. And I don't mean investment in the squad or like better players or like going 150 million on Mbappe. Like that's not what we need. We need investment in the club. Like we need more like communication with the fans, because our club is so well known for lying and hiding things from fans, and it gets too far. We need better training facilities. Like look at Leicester's new training ground. Like that is literally all I could ever dream of for Newcastle. Like nowhere near that. Where like basically there's championship teams that have better training facilities than us. We need better better academy structure, because like Sunderland's got a better academy than us, for example, and like they're in League One now. Like we need to be stepping up here and doing better, because like as you say, everything for Newcastle United as a club, there's everything there for it to succeed. There's nothing stopping it to succeed. So we need someone to invest. It's not like a case of just getting a new owner who's just going to be another Mike Ashley, because what's the point in that? Like there's just no point. We definitely need an owner who's going to invest and who wants the club to actually progress.
Okay, fair enough. And you made a great point there, talking, shout out to Tom Marshall there with the donation. Appreciate it, bud. And hello, everyone in the comments. I will go through some of the comments. Just bear with, because I want to get the lowdown on the clubs, to be honest. So, Jack, let's talk about Leicester, and Kendall just absolutely smashed it. Yeah, here's a comment. Just shout out Matty Smith there. Kendall equals the female true Geordie. Love the passion.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
Well,
I look like Jordan, because I'm not too far.
Fucking hell. Well, I mean, fucking hell. I mean, Brian, to be fair to him, I fucking love Brian. I fucking love Brian, but I think Brian's issue has been he's stepped so far away from Newcastle that you wouldn't, if it wasn't for the fact that he genuinely is a Geordie, you wouldn't know he's a Newcastle fan anymore. Which is a shame, because where he started, say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, he was he was a Geordie. He was season ticket holder. You know, fucking hell. Let's talk about Leicester anyway, Jack. I have a lot of people giving me stick here.
Not depressing Newcastle anymore. Give us some joy.
Nah, it's not that. It's because poor Jack was sitting there listening to us talk about Newcastle. But I think it's different when a club's in a bit of a shitty spot like Newcastle compared to a positive spot like Leicester and Everton, to be fair, because we were there 2 or 3 years ago. And as I say, I was ranting in a car. So I know exactly how it feels to be like 17th in the league, having to have Sam Allardyce as your manager and watching long ball football with fucking Theo Walcott running off Cenk Tosun. So trust me, I understand how shit it can be. Jack, let's move on to you. Kendall absolutely nailed it there about Leicester, the ambition. And, you know, for example, I speak a lot with the True Fox. Ellis is a really good friend of mine. Chappie, you know, we speak a fair bit. And Leicester's very positive at the minute. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you can put it that way. I think we're phenomenal over the years. If you look at it from when the Shrewsbury Papa family took over at Leicester, we was obviously in the Championship. We were struggling, really, wasn't we? But then we made playoffs a couple of times, and we lost to Watford in the playoffs in Cardiff, and then Nigel Pearson took us to the Premier League. And we got the Great Escape that following season where we thought, oh, yeah, we're going to go down sort of thing. We're right at the bottom. And then we beat like teams like Newcastle, West Ham, Swansea. And from that point, from the Great Escape season, Leicester's story is going up, up. Then the following season, we won the Premier League title at 5,000 to 1. Who would have thought that? An incredible story at the time. And that's down to the ownership of Leicester City putting the money in and the backing that the managers have had. Obviously, we've had like Nigel Pearson and Claude Puel and Brendan Rodgers, Craig Shakespeare. But obviously, Puel's time at Leicester didn't really work out as well as it thought. And Craig Shakespeare really an assistant manager rather than an actual manager. But Brendan Rodgers, since he's come in, has been absolutely phenomenal in it. He knows what he wants from the players, and they're obviously supporting him in everything he wants to achieve here.
Just a big shout out to Connor, just below me. You all right, bud? How are you?
All right, mate. How are you? Sorry for rudely joining half an hour later.
Don't worry. It's my fault, to be fair, because I should have appreciated the fact that you know, fucking hell. I DM'd you, but it's whether you see it or not. It's fine. Obviously, we've got Leicester, we've got Newcastle, we've got Leeds, we've got Everton. Just talking about Leicester, but we will go back to Leicester. I just want to get Connor's thoughts on the Premier League so far, just like we did at the start. What's your thoughts on the Prem so far? And equally, I'm going to ask you quite a cutting question about Bielsa, but I'll do it in a minute. I'll let you in first. Let you calm down, sit down, get yourself a cup of tea, get fucking ready for it. What's your thoughts on the Prem so far, Con?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? It's I mean, when I was in when we were in the Championship, I was always like, you know, everyone in the Premier League, they just don't understand what a nitty-gritty league this is, and the top 10 in the Championship could play the bottom 10 in the Premier League, and it would be a tight, contested affair. And then when you get up there and you realise, obviously, our first time in 16 years, you get there and you're like, whoa, wow. I mean, Leicester in particular, obviously, they came to Ellen Road, and we were turning around. I think we just beat Villa 3-0, and you're thinking, here we go. We're going, this is going to be a good result here. All the fans are buoyant. They're getting on top of it, and it was, we got battered, absolutely battered, and that's what it's like. And I think even just like with Sheffield United, you see that at this moment in time, they've been in every single game. They've lost like 11 games by 1 goal. They're in every single game, but it's the ruthlessness of this division. And yeah, that's the main difference. It is just absolutely, as I keep saying, ruthless. And to say we're 12th at this moment in time, I mean, we've had 11 different centre-back combinations so far. So it's credit to Bielsa at this moment in time. I know I'm probably going to get hammered because every opposition fan hates hearing about Bielsa, but
I will ask you a question about him in a minute. I promise. Just one. Jack, go back to Leicester. What does January look like for Leicester? Any ins, any outs?
Well, we've just got rid of Slimani to Lyon. I think they're on about Hamza Chowdhury going to West Brom, I heard. I can't see much happening with Leicester this January window. Obviously, we've got the players like Maddison, we've got Tielemans, we've got Ndidi, we've got Sionchu coming back, Ricardo. You know, we've got mostly best players in the league if you look at it for our team, because obviously they're really young players, and obviously we've got one of the best strikers in the Premier League in Jamie Vardy. He don't really get any better, does he? You know what I mean? He's really up there every season. I know people might look at it and say, oh yeah, but we were in the conference about 10 years ago. But if you look at his story, it's phenomenal. To be where he is, Premier League winner, scoring in the Champions League, Europa League, he's been phenomenal. Obviously, we've got like really good fullbacks, best in the league in Ricardo, Castagno, and now if you look at James Justin, he's going to be coming on a hell of a player. And that's because of Brendan Rodgers' man management in it with James Justin. His last season, it took him a while to like get into the Premier League, because obviously from League One level to the Premier League, it's a massive step. And under Brendan Rodgers, he's been phenomenal. That's because of Brendan Rodgers' man management with the younger players. If you look at Maddison and Tielemans, superb. And obviously we just signed Under, didn't we, on loan from Roma. And he's not been too bad himself. And obviously the lad for Fafana this season is like a young man, but obviously he's a really he's a beast in defence. If you look at Wesley Fafana, he's like a older head on young shoulders. And for that sort of mentality, it's all down to the manager and where he wants the players to be and where he wants them to succeed. So I think we'll be going places this season for sure.
Yeah, and I think Leicester fans. I had this conversation with John in the summer. It's difficult for me because Leicester won the title when no one expected them to win the title, and to see how they've progressed. They had the one dodgy season where they finished 8th just after, or 11th, whatever it was. But again, they've slowly progressed, and Brendan Rodgers has done a great job at Leicester. You can't fault it, and Leicester have got a hell of a side. So I think for Leicester, it's positive. The new training ground looks amazing. Well, it's going to be one of the best training grounds in the world, as KENDALL, like you said earlier. So, yeah, I think for Leicester, it's just more of the same. Good recruitment, solid back four. Don't lose your best players. If you do lose your best players, replace them for half the money, and that's what you did. If you get what I mean with Maguire, for example.
That's it. If you look at the money, what we've got rid of in Chilwell and Harry Maguire, it's what, £130 million, and with them gone and brought Tielemans for 40 million, Fafana at 25 million. It's just crazy. Like, we've signed like 6 really good players over the years with the money that we've got rid of in just 2 players, and that's down to recruitment, as you say, and obviously the backing of the owner, because Top obviously knows what he wants. And this family who's took over Leicester have been absolutely superb. We can't thank them enough. They're like the best owners in the league, innit? Probably best in the world, to be honest. And if it wasn't for them, I don't think we'd be where we are.
Well, Leicester as a community wouldn't be the same as well. I put before fucking lockdown, Jesus Christ. I used to go to Leicester quite a lot for work and things, and the city is, even the grants from the club to the university, for example, have been massive. So you're right. It's credit to Leicester and it's credit to the owners. KENDALL, I'm only coming back to you because I forgot to ask you that question about January. What's happening for Newcastle in January, ins and outs?
Well, the wonderful Keith Downey, friend of mine, Sky Sports journalist, has just like to drop it on us today that we've got no cash in January, which is no surprise because we never do. So we're looking probably at 2 loan signings, if that. I'm guessing, I'm hoping one's Jethro Willems back from Frankfurt at left back, because I cannot probably watch this season if Paul Dummett's going to be at left back anymore. I think I might just have to give up on my life. I mean, not that far. I mean, it's not that depressing, but it is a bit. And obviously, Jamal Lewis I like Jamal Lewis better as a wing back, if I'm being honest, in this point. So I would like Jethro Willems back in, because I think probably Jamal Lewis can learn from him. And if he's going to be on a free, this is me worry. I think they might wait till the summer, because he's going to be on a free in the summer, because he has refused a new contract with Frankfurt. So I think they might wait till the summer to get him, based on the fact that he's going to be free. So if that, honest to God, if it's honestly going to be Phil Jones and Jesse Lingard, the 2 loans, I can't. I honestly can't. I'm gonna have to just ignore Premier League football for the rest of my life, or not the rest of my life, but to the end of the season.
Yeah, well, until Steve Bruce fucks off.
Follow my second team all the time, because my second team's Atletico Madrid, who are going to probably win La Liga this year. So,
there you go.
Yeah, so I might just go there, glory support for a season, and then because Newcastle don't give me any glory whatsoever. So, yeah, I can't see us really doing anything else. It's just going to be a random. We need a striker. I feel like Dwight Gale's probably gone elsewhere, and we really need like a decent striker though, like not bloody Andy Carroll, like just thinking Andy Carroll back for like bloody publicity. Like, that signing frustrated the life out of me, because it was all just for publicity. Like, it was just to get fans on Steve Bruce's side. Yeah, I can't see January going too well for us, if I'm honest. Something like Phil Jones and Jesse Lingard, or some other Man United cast off like Brandon Williams or something. That's all I can say. That's all I can say for us, to be honest. So that's lovely and positive from me.
Yeah, good. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ, Connor. Let's get over to Leeds then, mate. Let's. I'm going to ask you a question.
It makes me feel a lot better. I'm not going to lie.
Well, of course it is, because this is what I was going to say to you. Is you are being massively linked with a £42 million deal for Adama Traore from Wolves.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love it to happen. I would, but at the same time, we've got so many wingers. We've got about 6 or 7 wingers. But yeah, the thing is, when you come into this Leeds United side, it's not just, as I would say, with like a Steve Bruce, unfortunately, like, where you just come in and you play straight away. With Bielsa, it takes a good 8 weeks to get up to speed with his fitness regime. So, I mean, Adama Traore coming in, I mean, what is he, about 19 stone now? Wait to see him under Bielsa. It'll be about 11 stone wet through. You know what I mean? It'd be an interesting signing for us, because I still, weirdly, with the wingers that we've got now, Jack Harrison, who's on fire, Rafinha, who is unbelievable. I can't see him getting ahead of those two at this moment in time. So would Adama Traore want to come and sit on our bench? I mean, that's the question. But it's crazy.
And equally, would you want to spend £42 million on a player who's going to sit on your bench?
No, I mean, mate, we've got problems elsewhere. I mean, Leeds have conceded 30, 32, 33 goals this year. If we're to get anyone, it needs to be a centre back or a centre midfielder. I mean, we've got 2 centre midfield who play like strikers. I mean, it must be great for you lot watching us, because it's just, as a neutral, it's brilliant watching Leeds, and it's like, here we go, goals. So
it's unfucking. To be honest, we did our match preview for the Leeds game and at Goodison, and I remember sitting there going, Everton could lose to Leeds because Leeds will turn the ball over quickly in midfield and just fucking go for it. And that's exactly what happened. Your midfield turned the ball over. There was no denying Rafinha won the midfield that night. Absolutely bossed it. And you look at the midfield of Leeds, and they're very underrated, because Rafinha's a great player. Jack Harrison's fantastic. I like the 2 lads in the middle. But as you say, there's nobody who takes the time on the ball. The perfect signing for you. Absolutely brilliant. And I will drive him there. And so will some of the guys in the comments, no doubt. It's Tom Davis. Tom Davis would be great at Leeds, don't you think? Would you have fucking, Jesus Christ. You watch him play football, I'm telling you, you want to fucking have him. What's Leeds' window? What are you going to get? A defender? Are you linked with defenders? What's going on? Who's going in? Who's going out?
Nah, to be honest, mate, I mean, he'll put a centre midfielder at centre back. He'll put a right back up front. He'll put the keeper. Brilliant. He just doesn't see it like that. I know a lot of opposition fans get bored of talking about him, but he's just such a weird football manager in terms of he'll just create positions for players who've never played in those positions. He doesn't see signings as the number one priority. He'll try move Luke Ayling, who's at right back, into centre back if we've got a void player there, if we can't fill that role, and he'll consistently do that. Jack Harrison will play as a centre forward. Rodrigo will fill in at right wing. And Bielsa just doesn't see football like that. If they need to make it, it'll come from higher up, but it will not come from Bielsa, because he wants to manage He wants to manage and improve that player. And by doing that, it means that he has to vary his position. He can get, he can play centre forward. He can play. The improvement that so many players have had under him has been magnificent. And the reason behind that is because they've been able to vary the positional sense as well. It's not just been about going out and spending big dollar on players. And I think that's definitely a credit to what he's doing at this moment in time. So to be honest, mate, to answer your question, I don't think we'll do anything this window. And would I do something? Yeah, but I haven't got Leeds into this position. So what can I say?
Yeah. And that is the issue, as football fans and as fan channels, we sit there and we have our 50 pence worth, but we don't
think we know it all, don't we? Billy Big Bollock, I don't think we know it all.
Yeah, we all sit there.
I feel like I do.
No. The difference is Jack couldn't do a better job than Brendan Rodgers. Connor couldn't do a better job than Bielsa. I couldn't do a better job than Ancelotti. But you, Kendall, you could do a better job than Bruce. Yeah. You could. Yeah. You could. I have no doubt that you could be with them players for 10 minutes and they'd be more motivated listeing to you than they'd be with fucking Stevie Bruce.
Well, against us, like when Newcastle came to Elland Road, I mean, they're definitely the worst team I've seen at Elland Road this year. But what I didn't understand with him was he had like Carroll on the bench, he had Shelvey on the bench, and I was thinking to myself, we can be caught massively in the midfield, massively. And if John Joe Shelvey can get hold of the ball, control it, and what are we weak at? We're weak at set pieces in the air. Andy Carroll's on the bench. Yeah. Dwight Gale always scores against us. And it's like, Bruce could have manipulated that game so much in your favour, and he played into our hands.
He doesn't. That's the problem. He doesn't do. He's actually openly said, "I don't do tactics. I'm not tactical. What the hell do you do? You don't do tactics. But like, why are you even managing in the Premier League? Because seriously, you can't just. It's going to show you can't just rock up to a game. Like if we've won a game or even drew, like against Liverpool, for example, he'll just go and play the exact same team. Like, it doesn't matter who you're playing. He'll just go and just put that exact same team. Obviously, apart from injuries, if there's any injuries, he'll just go and play that exact same team, like, exactly how he did at Leicester. And then, like, it's just frustrating because he doesn't do any research or any, like, tactical research on a team. Like, he doesn't care. He's so transparent and he's so predictable. And I'm honestly not surprised that, like, we're getting found out or anything now because it's just easy. You just know what he's going to do if he's won or if he's drawn. Or if he hasn't got beat by that much, because he doesn't go into a game to win. He goes into a game not to lose. So it's like just frustrating now. I'm sick. Yeah. I laugh, but because I want to cry, really.
Just a little comment there from John, my co-host. If you can do a better job, John, instead of turning this fucking video down, son, why don't you come on the fucking channel? I'll send you the link right now, son, and you jump on, you fucking tosser. I mean, from an Everton perspective, I mean, January is going to be, look, it's a positive time to be an Everton fan. Everton are fifth in the league. We started really well. We've played really well recently. We've had a few dodgy results, no disrespect. Losing to Leeds at home was not a result I think Everton would have expected at the start of the season. Losing away at Newcastle, I think Everton would probably have tried to get a draw out of the games against Newcastle away, for example, but they didn't. There's no harm in losing to a Premier League side. But then going away to Leicester and winning 2-0, that probably wasn't necessarily on the script at the start of the season. And that's where's been Everton's frustration, because we've lost to West Ham, we've lost to Leeds, we've fucking drew with Burnley, we lost to Southampton, lost to Newcastle, but then we go and twat Chelsea, Tottenham away, Leicester away. It just doesn't fucking make sense anymore.
The bigger clubs.
Well, it's not even that, because I don't like saying bigger clubs and all that. We're all Premier League clubs, so we all deserve the right to play in the Premier League. But the ones who have been in the Premier League, say the longest, we've seemed to have given them a better game. In terms of Everton, as I say, it's their AGM tonight, and I have been watching it as we've sort of been going along or listening to the news, and Everton aren't going to be signing anyone in January. I expected we wouldn't, because I just think that I don't necessarily see loads of gaps in Everton. It's not like I sit there and I go defensively, we're weak. We're not. Midfield-wise, we are when we've lost our best players, but we've lost our best players. You know, we've had no Allen, no Luca Dean. Richarlison's been absolutely shite this season at times.
Calvert-Lewin's been good.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin's been good. James Rodriguez has sort of pulled the strings, and we started to see that again against fucking hell, who did we play on fucking Saturday?
Wolves.
Fuck me. That's
Wolves
it.
in the
Yeah, on
league.
Tuesday. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. You see, it's a good job she's here, isn't it?
Just
You know, and
I
we.
think about the ball that he put in. I was thinking, no, I love.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Michael Keane.
I'm telling you now that there's only a couple of people I'd take the balls from, and that's Luca Dean. I'm telling you, I'll take them balls all day. You take that however you want, guys. For me, there isn't an obvious weakness in Everton. There just isn't necessarily the consistency.
What about
The
goalkeeper?
Yeah, well, yeah. So the obvious weakness is Pickford, but even of late, we've had Olsen in, who's sort of got him maybe working on his mentality a little bit. We've started to see him maybe mature a little bit. The worst thing, I hate Pickford when he plays against Newcastle, because he's an absolute gobshite. Why go into a game deliberately trying to fuck everyone off? You know, keep a calm head, stay chill, stay relaxed, and he just fucking... He's a twat. But he's been good of late. He's been consistent. Olsen's pushed him. So, you know, if you'd have said to me at the start of the season, you, Michael Davis, will be happy with Jordan Pickford from January to May, I would have said, nah, you're lying to me, you're a dickhead. But actually, I'm cool with it. I'm all right with it. I can get through it, because in the summer, yes, I hope we replace him. I hope we go and get a Nick Pope, or, you know, I quite like, might sound silly, but I like Darlow from Newcastle, and, you know, I like these players. I'd have no problem taking one of those over Jordan Pickford. But for Everton this season, for where we want to be, we're in exactly the right position. We're 4 points off top. We all know Everton aren't going to win the league, so there's no point blowing smoke about ours. And we've just got to win more games than we're losing, which we've done this season. It's that simple. What I was going to ask, just the four of you, we'll start with Connor and go anti-clockwise. Who's the top four this season, Con?
Leeds.
Well done. Well done.
No.
I thought he was so serious. I actually thought he was being serious. I was like,
Yeah, I think who's going to win it? I can't say them. I can't. It destroys every fibre of my being saying them. So Liverpool will win it. Just
wrong, but yeah, carry on.
Yeah, wrong. City second. I don't know. I'm trying to think now. Spurs third. Chelsea fourth.
Okay. And while we're here, I'll just ask where Everton, Newcastle, and Leicester going to finish. And Leeds. Obviously, you got to mention Leeds. Let me just shut my door. My dog's going fucking mad.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't want this to sound awful, to be honest. Leicester. No. I think Leicester will get sort of fifth or sixth. Yep. Everton will be. I'm sitting on the fence here. Everton will be around about that point, but I'm more interested in Leeds and Newcastle, to be honest. So Leeds, I think any 17th I'd be happy with, believe it or not. But I'm gonna go with 15th. Newcastle, I think, will be relegated 18th.
Oh, Kendall, shot to be
sorry.
Fire there.
It's just a surprise.
I'm sorry.
Defenders, because I'm not one of these people who think that we're so good. Like, obviously not. So surprised at all.
Sorry, Kendall.
It's fine. It's just like when you hear and you think, oh, other people's watching, you thinking, what the absolute hell is this match? Like, then I'm like, oh no.
I as well. Like, I do a bit of work for just a publication in Sheffield, and I watched that game the other night as well. And I do a little bit on Sheffield United, and I just couldn't believe how. I mean, it was all Sheffield United from moment 1 to minute 90, and I just think to myself, how are they 20th, and how are you at that? Do you know what I mean? Like, ridiculous. Yeah, but anyway.
Right, Kendall, time to fire the shot back. Yeah.
Oh no, it's all right. I'm quite a fair person. Like, I think, like, I can't be giving anyone shit like we are so shit. So I think it's going to be. I think no one can discount City yet. That's where I'm going right now. I think City might win the league. Liverpool second. Man United third. Leicester fourth. I think Everton will be in and around there. I think Spurs will be in and around there. You know, fifth, sixth. Definitely. I think if Jose is trying to, I don't think he's going for the league. I think he's going for like the cup, a cup, for example, like Europa League or, you know, Carabao Cup or whatever. So I don't think the league will be his focus. So I think he'll be in and around there. Leeds, I think, will be 12th. And I think Newcastle will probably just avoid relegation. Will be 17th, I think.
Fair enough. I just want to welcome my co-host John, who told me that he wasn't coming on the video tonight, then give me a load of shit in the comments, and then decided to jump in the video for probably the last 10 minutes. How are you, you stupid nonce? You all right?
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm all right. Welcome everyone to the channel. Nice to see you, Kendall. I tell you what, you certainly know your stuff, don't you? No more than fucking Michael.
What about the other two, John? For fuck's sake, keep your eyes in your fucking head, dickhead.
No, I tell you, they're all fucking better than you. Let's just say that.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. John, obviously, you've been able to keep a little eye on the Everton Agm. Anything I've missed there? Stadium update, looks like it's green light. No signings in the summer. In January. James Rodriguez and the free. We're just fucking boss, aren't we? We're still boss.
Well, we're the highest in the league here out of this group. So let's be honest about it.
Incorrect.
We can be confident.
Incorrect.
Oh, Leicester. Sorry, Leicester above us. Yeah.
Don't take the piss out of Jack there. Well, not yet.
No, what I will say though, I did mention to someone in the comments about Brand saying we won't be getting anyone in January. Listen, he's not going to come out and say we're after players. No club does that. For the simple fact is, clubs just bump the prices up. If clubs know that, you know, players make it obvious that they need players in for certain positions. So I really do think there will be players coming into Everton. But again, he's not going to come out and say we need this, we need that, because the price tag just goes up by 10 million quid.
Fair enough. Jack, let's go over to you, my friend. Your top four and the positions that the four respective teams will finish, bud.
I'd like to say Leicester's going to win the league, but I think Man City will win it, to be honest. It's going to be tight between Man United, Leicester and Liverpool for second.
And Everton.
And Everton as well.
Oh, we are. Fucking hell.
But no, if we don't finish second, I reckon Liverpool and Man City be up there again. I think we'll finish third this season, but I take a top six finish. That's why I put myself at the start of the season as a fan. Top six for Leicester would be fantastic. Obviously, with the Europa League games and the FA Cup and all that, it's a lot of games and we just got to get through them. But Everton, I reckon they'll be in the top six. Leeds, I do like Bielsa, you know. I like his plant pot, innit? That's about it, Bielsa. But yeah, the football of Bielsa, obviously it worked in the Championship, but obviously they're getting found out quite a bit in the Premier League. But they've got some obviously good players in Calvin Phillips and players like that. Obviously Rafinha. I reckon Leeds be bottom 10, say 13th. Newcastle, that's a tough one because their ownership's been utter shite over the time that Mike Ashley's been there. He's done absolutely nothing. He gave Alan Pardew an 8-year contract, I think he did. And they've not really done much since then with obviously Brucey coming in. I think Rafa Benitez would have done a fantastic job if they'd actually gave him the actual job and Mike Ashley didn't put his nose in. But Newcastle, they'll stay safe this season. I reckon Sheffield United and West Brom will go down. 18th, it's either Burnley, Brighton or Fulham for me.
Do you know, going back to what the Leicester lad said there, do you know if Rafa was still at Newcastle and they had an owner in a bit the mould of Machedi at Everton, Newcastle, in my opinion, would be doing an Everton, would be doing a Leicester, you know, up there consistently. You know, I know Everton haven't been up there consistently, but, you know, they'd have that They'd have that target of European football, and you don't have that with Steve Bruce. If Newcastle had a manager in the mold, an owner in the mold of Managerial, you know, or, you know, like as he said, the Leicester owners, they don't go for managers like Steve Bruce. Yeah, I know Managerial went for Big Sam, but he absolutely shit his pants over relegation when he brought Sam in. Do you know what I mean? But
He did.
If Newcastle had an owner who cared about the club and not about himself, and would go out there and get a top manager like an Ancelotti, you know what I mean? And Leicester have had some great managers, you know, they've won the league. This is where Newcastle miss out. And I feel sorry for Newcastle in a way, because they've put up with shit for years, you know. And listen, they're a big club. They've massive capacity. They've got some great players. But it's just from the top to the manager. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's the
Do you know what I mean?
Ownership of the club. And obviously, I've got family.
It's the running of the club. It's the running of the club. That's it. It's the running of the club. You know, they've got the fan base. They've got the stadium. You know, and as Kendall quite rightly said before, you know, you've got a manager there who doesn't do taxes. So what the fuck does he do? Does he just rock up for 2 hours every day and just say, right, go and have a fucking kick around there?
Steve Agnew does all the subs and stuff. Steve Bruce doesn't. Steve Agnew does the tactics and the subs. So, like, why are you there? Like, what are you even doing?
And that speaks volumes, because who the fuck's that?
Where's
Do you
the
know what I mean? From an Everton perspective, what the fuck's that? What is it? It's about John went viral on fucking Twitter, like million views for saying that about Sadibi once. For me, I'll go through who I think top four is. I think Manchester City win the league. I think Liverpool are really struggling. So I think Manchester City first, Man United second,
Tottenham third.
Nah, because they're fucking shit at the minute. Ollie will agree with me. They're fucking bollocks. How the fuck
Tottenham
did Jose set up against Fulham yesterday for a fucking draw? Jesus.
The balls.
Yeah.
Said, I was laughing on Twitter because someone said it's Bus Parker versus Scott Park, and I was in a King Park. Ages about it.
Yeah, I think that's the top three. And then it's fourth. It's up for fucking grabs.
Wide open, isn't it?
It's wide open between an inconsistent Chelsea, an inconsistent Spurs, an inconsistent Leicester, and an inconsistent Everton.
And Arsenal.
Fuck Arsenal. Jesus Christ. Well, no, I'm not putting Southampton in that equation. Jesus Christ, fucking hell.
No, but Arsenal a bit of form. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's in a bit of form. We did the same, John. We went fucking 8 games unbeaten. Then now we've gone fucking 10 games with only 2 defeats. But in the middle, we had 7 games with 1 win. Got twatted by Leeds.
Fucking League One.
We did after 5 weeks, John. We were top of. We won the fucking league. It's our year. So for me, yeah, I think it's a toss up between the 4. If I go with Leeds, I think I'll give you exactly the same prediction I give Leeds at the start of the season, which I'm pretty sure was 11th.
Take it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 11.
I think you're better than that. I think you're better. I think you're better than 11.
He needs to sort his fucking defence out, Bielsa. And I will say something about Bielsa in a minute.
He's the sort of manager who will be happy winning 5-4 every week, Bielsa.
And that scares the shit out of me in the Premier League, because what the fuck? Like, I'd
take 5-4 every week.
I love Bielsa. And I also despise Bielsa. That's how mad fucking Bielsa is.
Do you think that's how we've been brought up as English football fans, though?
Yes, I do. Because, you know, Bielsa can't even speak English, yet every single player on that pitch plays for him week in, week out, as if he shouts at them all day in the dressing room. It's unbelievable. He can't defend, but he's absolutely fantastic going forward. I mean, Leeds to watch are absolutely fucking brilliant and deserve.
Well, look at the first game of the season against the shite when they only just got beat.
It was, and then it was the second game when we was in fucking Wales and it was like 5-4 against Fulham or something. It was unfucking believable. So I sit there and I just think, do you know what, Bielsa, you could be so fucking good, and he's been rated as one of the best managers in the world and all of this shit, and I don't get it. because to be the best manager in the world, you have to be able to do both defend and attack. And I just don't think Bielsa can. So that's my criticism, Connor. It's gone. It's fucking finished. That wasn't too bad, was it?
No, the thing is, though, I've said this before. Me and my old man have said it. We've said we.
He probably agrees.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoke. Me and my dad. We've said, we understand the opposition fans because he's lauded in the media, and we get it. We understand seeing Talk Sport, whatever it is, every single day. Oh, Bielsa this, Bielsa that. I do think it must drive everybody else absolutely fucking mental, because at the end of the day, you've had Hull City come up with Phil Brown, and do something similar. You've had Reading come up with, Steve Coppell.
Fucking Steve Coppell.
You know what I mean, though? It's in terms of league positioning. Chris Wilder last year, Sheffield United finished 9th. So it's one of them where I do get it. I think the thing with Bielsa is we were shite for literally. If you probably didn't, but if you kept tabs on Leeds, we were shite for 10 years, 10, 15, more than that. And he's come in and he's not made big changes at all. He's
welcome to the club. Fucking hell.
Yeah, but he's not gone out and made big changes. He's brought a couple of players in, but he's improved the shite players to a level where they're now in the Premier League and the 12th, which is, for Leeds fans, it's unbelievable to see. So that's why we love him. That's why we want to love him. He's brought us back. I genuinely thought, I'm fucking 27. I thought I'd be 60 odd by the time I'd see Leeds in the Premier League again, because we're that cursed as a club. So what he's done, and I think the media hype around him, because we come into the Premier League and you'll see a Burnley, you'll see a Norwich, you'll see whoever coming into the Premier League, and they'll just be like, we'll sit back against the Man City. How come Burnley go to Man City, get trounced 5-0, and no one says anything, but Leeds will go to Man United, have 20 shots on goal, get beat 6-2, and we'll get battered in the media about it. You know what I mean?
I know how you feel. Fucking hell, it's exactly the same with us. Fucking hell, Jordan Pickford's a fucking murderer. Did you know that? He's not a big goalkeeper trying to make himself look big. He's just a fucking murderer. I mean, Liverpool were running fucking vigils for fucking Virgil. So Jesus Christ. I mean, fucking hell, they had the Ouija board out and everything. So yeah, mate, I agree. I'm absolutely up there, and I would actually say that for the 4 clubs here, the media are pretty much against all of us. I would say, genuinely. I don't think Leicester get enough credits. Newcastle get fucking absolutely. I mean, fucking hell, if they can take a shot at Steve Bruce, they don't fucking hold back. They'll throw pollies at him and everything.
Yeah, I've had my notification.
And that's just Kendall.
Yeah, absolutely fucking going.
Steve Bruce is actually glorified by a lot of media friends. Like, he's doing a good job with what he's got. He's had 100 fucking million to spend. 100 million.
That's mad.
Yeah.
We've spent 500 million though, Kendall. 500 million.
I would love to spend 5 million.
I'm telling you now.
Not on the shit we've bought.
I'm telling you now, Kendall, if you could have a £28 million Balassi, a £25 million Klassen, a fucking 50 million.
And I think that just.
Oh, yeah. Well, fair enough. She wins. She wins. Fucking hell. I think Newcastle finished 15th. And I think Leicester.
Would you be happy with that, Kendall?
Yeah, I would happy just to not get relegated this year. Now.
Do you think Bruce Stees are out to the end of the season?
10th would have been amazing, but now I'm happy just to not get relegated this year. And if honestly, I hope he goes soon. But I don't think he will. Mike Ashley's come out again yesterday after me, and there was another guy called Andy who asked to go on Sky Sports yesterday and talk about Steve Bruce getting sacked. And Mike Ashley came out literally about an hour after those interviews and said, no, we're still backing them until we're in a relegation battle. But that's too far.
Fucking hell.
If we are 18th, 19th, 20th, we're not getting out of that. I don't think he understands. We're not getting out of that position if we're in that position. It happened with McLaren. We didn't sack McLaren till March, got Rafa, and then it was too late because there just wasn't enough to change. There wasn't a transfer window.
You need time, don't you?
Can I just say, Kendall, after this, can I request your autograph? Because I've not been asked to go on Sky Sports, and John certainly hasn't.
It's the beauty thing, Mike.
Con, have you? Yeah, but Con's a good-looking chap. Have you been asked to go on Sky Sports?
I've been on, a couple of times. I've been on.
Fucking hell, what's going on here?
Fuck you, Jack. What about you, mate?
I've done a few interviews with Sky Sports. Yeah.
I tell you what, fuck this shit.
fuck you. Like, do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ, we've run this
And the fucking
show,
stream now. Thanks
Jesus
for coming on. It's
Christ.
fucking shit.
Fuck the lot of you. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
It's because we
Dominic.
swear too much.
Have you watched KENDALL's channel? Have you watched it? Jesus Christ. Fucking hell, she's close enough now. John, what's your positions, mate? Top four and your guys.
Well, for me, Everton win it. Everton ladies second. The under-18s third.
Brilliant.
No.
Fucking under-60s go fourth.
Man United.
Yeah.
Win it.
Yeah.
Man City second.
Yeah.
Leicester.
You've got to put the shite third, surely. I mean, I know you hate them, but
no, I just think they're struggling defensively, Michael. They're on a poor run of form. And they're not getting players back to get them out of it. They're not playing well.
Okay,
and if they don't sign a defender in January, they're fucked, right? So Man United, Man City, Leicester, Tottenham, and then I'm going to put Everton fifth.
What about Leeds and Newcastle?
I think Leeds finished 10th, and I think
he predicted you'd finish 20th as well. By the way, Con.
Yeah.
And the reason is you fucking did, and the reason is, and I will quote John word for word here. He hates Leeds, and the reason he hates Leeds is because he went away to Leeds a few years ago in the
got
cup.
Fucking legged.
Got absolutely twatted all over Leeds. had to hide behind a lorry in the lay-by because some bloke was going to knock him out. Brilliant.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but you should have seen the fucking size of the bloke. Fuck that.
Yeah, he looked like the 11 stone Adama Troy all the way back through.
42 million, by the way, not a fucking chance. And where do Newcastle finish? I think they just stay up, only because they've got some good players there, in my opinion. Saint Maxim, I like Saint Maxim, mate. I think he's a great player.
When's he back, by the way? If he's back, the fortunes change, don't they, a little bit for Newcastle?
Top six.
Went a bit AWOL. He's back in training now. He was back in training from Monday, so hopefully in the next 2 weeks, because he's obviously had long COVID. So I say that because I don't think he did, but I think he had coronavirus. I just think something else went on because, I mean, Steve Bruce had a big shiner against Palace and that. So, yeah, next 2 weeks, I would say, hopefully.
Yeah,
if you ever watch Dream Team, the kicking some of them players get, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, if that was a documentary, it's fantastic. Oh, you probably don't know what that program is, Kendall, because I'm guessing you're younger than us too. But Con, you look like the man that watched Dream Team.
What gives that impression?
Well, I don't know.
You're right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've just been watching it all back on YouTube and recap. It's fucking fantastic.
It's a great job.
Oh, fucking hell. John, obviously you weren't here. We've been with these guys an hour and 10 minutes now, and I'm sure Jack wants to go to bed, Kendall wants to go to bed, and fucking Con's just about to start work, I think. Jesus Christ. Have you got anything to say to the guys? Because obviously you've just fucking popped on for 20 minutes.
Wasn't worth me setting me tripod up, was it?
Well, you decided to join in, so fucking speak, dickhead.
Brilliant. No, it's been a privilege. Some of the comments we've had here, I've just seen one comment there. Brad the lad sub to KENDALL's channel, the Leeds channel as well.
What about Jack? Don't fucking forget Jack. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Brad, don't forget Jack's channel as well.
They're all in there, all in the descriptions. Jesus wept.
Some of the comments that we've had, it's been a really, really good watch along. As I say, I was watching along before, throwing the comments in. Now I've come on, and you all certainly know your shit. So it's been a pleasure.
One question to Kendall though. What did she actually think of Jose Perez before he signed for Leicester?
I was actually gutted that he went because at the time we didn't have any player like him. So we didn't have like a decent number 10 at the time. So I mean, well, did we have anyone decent? No. But we didn't have like a decent number 10 at the time. And to be honest, I think we could have actually probably, well, not Steve Bruce wouldn't have, but we could have really used a player like him right now in this team. But obviously Steve Bruce would have just made him absolutely shite. So yeah, probably wouldn't have been a good.
I've got one more question. What do you actually think?
John.
What do you actually think of Steve Bruce then, Kendall?
I wonder if I haven't said that throughout the show. Yeah, love him, great bloke. I think he's a decent bloke. I think he'd be all right for a pint or whatever, but I just think he's a shit football manager. I don't even think he has any remote football knowledge at all. Like, I mean, he was a defender, so you don't really have to have like good football knowledge. You just have to not let the ball in the net at that point in your life, like in the 80s. So I feel like I just don't think he's got any remote football knowledge, to be honest. Has he ever shown that he has? No. So
you see, when you look at the position Newcastle are in with the manager you've got, you just know that, and this is no disrespect, but you just know you're never going to win anything. So why keep hold of him? You know.
Exactly. And the thing is as well, now we're in a position where this takeover is still ongoing. So, the process is still ongoing. So, who's realistically going to come in for like 5-6 months? Because knowing that you're not going to probably have a job, like post
Eddie Howe.
Well, like, I want Eddie Howe, but like that's who I would think I would realistically take right now.
No, Joe Pearson.
We wouldn't get anyone else under this sort of like current situation. So, yeah, I think I would take Eddie Howe, but I just don't think he's gonna. Unless Gareth Southgate has a really shit Euros and then Eddie Howe goes and, becomes the next England manager. But, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I just don't want to get relegated. I cannot handle 3 relegations in 11 years. Literally, I'm just not going to watch it anymore.
I think there's 3 worse teams than Newcastle.
Oh, yeah, West Brom,
Sheffield.
Definitely.
I agree. I think there is, but with the way we play, I actually don't think there is.
Here's a question for you all, and now we're talking about relegation before you go, because someone's had put in the comments before. Who's your 3 teams to go down? I'll ask all of you.
In what order, John? Do you want me to start, dickhead?
Well, yeah, go on.
I still think so. Sheffield United and West Brom, I think they're dead certs, and I think the last one's become a bit of a toss-up, to be honest, all of a sudden, because I think some of the teams at the bottom have started to come good. But for me, it's Brighton.
Yeah.
I don't know how their team's ridiculous as well. Like, I don't know what's going on with them at the minute.
I know. So I think Brighton. I think Fulham have got enough real quality. They've got Fulham. If you look at them,
they showed that last night against Tottenham. They gave them a great game.
Yeah. So for me, yeah, I just think they're the 3 that will go down. So who's next, Jack?
Sheffield United and West Brom, definitely. Between me, it's either Burnley or Brighton or Fulham. I reckon Fulham will scrape safety, definitely. But Burnley and Brighton, they seem very inconsistent. So
they're my 3. I agree with Jack.
Maybe one of them 2.
Sheffield United and Burnley for me, as well as my mind's gone blank. Sheffield United, Burnley, and West Brom. They're my 3. Yeah, Kendall.
Yeah, Sheffield United, definitely. West Brom, 100% agree with that. I think Burnley normally kick on the second half of the season, so they normally have a better second half of the season. So I think they might be safe. I think Fulham will probably go down unless they strengthen. But yeah, I think it is between Burnley, Brighton, and Fulham. But I think we'll just scrape it. I think we'll just be 17th. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're down there neither. But yeah,
I think Newcastle have got. I know it's the old saying, they're too good to go down. I wouldn't say they're too good to go down. What I would say is they've got enough individual players to keep them up, and going back to Fulham's performance last night, slowly but surely, Fulham are starting to play better. The performances are improving now. They were poor at the beginning of the season, but they do seem to be putting more better performances in now and getting results. Do you know what I mean? Tottenham away, it's not an easy place to go and get a draw. So
you're joking, John. Loads of teams have beat Tottenham at Tottenham.
Well, yeah, but it was the beginning of the season, wasn't it?
That's what Stooness said, weren't it, dickhead?
Connor?
Yeah, mate, I think it's Sheffield United, even though I could see them getting a couple of wins now, weirdly, because they normally...
it takes 1 win, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes 1 win against us. Yeah, great.
I think Derby's record amount of points they got to win against Newcastle at home, didn't they?
Yeah.
I sound like I've got a real agenda against Newcastle here, by the way. I'm wearing the kit. Look, I'm wearing the kit. But no, it's. I think Sheffield United they've left it too late. West Brom. I mean, when we played West Brom, I mean they are abysmal. They are awful. I
think West Brom had more chance of staying up if they kept Bilic there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, if you look at the goals they've conceded 3.25 per game under Sam, and they conceded 2 under Bilic.
What was he like? What was he like for you boys? I can't remember Sam at Everton.
Shit.
Horrific. The only difference was with Everton, and this is no disrespect to West Brom or any of the teams that he managed, but he had a better team with Everton. And he, and in the January when we needed a player who could pick up a ball and carry it, Everton had 20 million to go and spend on a Theo Walcott at the time, and Cenk Tosun, who could at least hold the ball in the final third at the time. Sam Allardyce, it was the worst, most abysmal, shittest football I've ever watched as an Everton fan, and I mean that. And I've watched David Moyes part the bus and then 0-0 against Fulham away, just to get European football. I've watched some shit. I've seen Walter Smith at the end of his Everton career and with an Everton team falling apart. Sam Allardyce was the worst blot on Everton's history in the last.
Do you know the scary thing about it though is Sam Allardyce finished 8th with us.
Seventh.
Jesus, did he?
No, he finished 8th, and he got told if he finished 7th.
No.
He finished.
If he finished 6th, he'd keep his job. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. We finished 7th, and he got told if you get Everton into 6th place, you stay.
Mad.
Yeah.
That's the only time I didn't want us to finish as high.
And then I don't know what, but the thing is with Newcastle, like Kendall's just said, then if they get St. Maximan back, I mean the performances were so much better when he was in the side. I know it's such an easy thing to say, but someone like that, just a playmaker. If he comes in and that can be, a little bit of a kick on for them, then who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I think either Newcastle or like John says, like Brighton, maybe. But I think we could be close. I still think Leeds will be very close. I do. I can't get it out of my head. I think we'll be close. I don't know why. Well, I do know why.
That's like a little voice in your head though, saying like we haven't had success for a few years. Like, so you don't want to get disappointed if you do go down there. Like,
true.
Expect the worst, but like it's better I suppose better if you do that, because then you're not disappointed if it does go wrong. That's what I tell myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right, Michael, are you there?
I think he's gone again. I think he's gone. Hasn't he?
Do you know what he does? He's pressed the button, and all I've got on my phone is just him. He's looking at me, but he's froze. Right, honest to God, it's just this big ginger head staring at me, but it's not moving. Honest to God, I don't know what he's done. On your phones, are we all on it apart from him?
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know what the fuck he's done then. Honest to God, I think he does it deliberately,
just to wind you up.
Well, he's just a fucking tit, isn't he? I'm sure you've all fucking noticed that now. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I haven't got much more to say now. I don't know if Michael's going to come back on. I don't know if he's had to run off to sort his little boy out or anything. So
can you just shut the fuck up a second, John? I've just moved. Jesus, wept, man.
Oh, he's moved. Yeah, we'll see. He's back now. Look, honest to God, he's just been for something to eat.
This is what happens when you've got kids, John. Oh, you have to move location.
I've got 2, one on the way.
No, yeah, you fucked it. So quick one, just for each of you. Out of Leicester, Everton and Leeds, Kendall, one player you'd sign from each. I'll ask the same question to everyone.
I'd sign James Rodriguez from Everton, because I think we probably need that sort of...
You think he's fit?
I don't actually. He's not my type, but he's all right.
Jesus Christ, then you've got high standards. No chance for us, lads. Jesus Christ. We're fucked if she thinks James isn't good looking.
Yeah, James Rodriguez, I think we could really deal with someone like that, because we don't have anyone who can like play balls like that, or like a playmaker like that. So James Rodriguez. From Leicester, I would sign Jamie Vardy, obviously, but it would never.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, if we signed Jamie Vardy, he would be the absolute shittest striker in history because he just would never do anything and would never get any service. So that's probably a wrong thing. But yeah, just we need another striker. So Jamie Vardy. And from Leeds, it would probably be someone like Rafinha or someone like that. Yeah.
Go on then, Connor, your turn, bud.
Newcastle, it'd be the standard. Saint-Maximin, definitely. I really like him. Good player. Leicester, Tielemans, just underrated. What a player he is. Unbelievable. And Everton, I'm just trying to think of players. It'd be Tielemans or Fofana, actually. I really like Fofana. And then from Everton, I mean, it's standard, isn't it? It's got to be James. It has got to be James. Do
you fancy him then? Because Kendall certainly doesn't.
I try based my look on it. It just doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Your hair's nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. How much hairspray do you have to stick on that in the morning, Tom?
It's not that much at the minute, actually. It's just out the shower. That's just permanent volume, mate.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Jack, what about you, bud?
Everton, probably Calvert-Lewin for me.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Replacement for Vardy.
I think for Leicester, it's about who's going to replace Jamie Vardy when Jamie Vardy retires. Do you get what I mean? Obviously, fans have already asked me that question: who would replace Jamie Vardy? And obviously, I don't think Iheanacho is good enough to do that. We need someone who's a proven goal scorer, who's quick and can score goals week in, week out. And at the minute, we've not really found that as of yet. For Newcastle, I'd take Alan Saint-Maximin. Absolute fantastic player on his day. Quick. I'd just like that sort of winger.
Would you take Bruce?
No.
As a player 25 years ago, maybe, but not fucking now.
Great player.
Bruce was good in his day at Man United in them days. But since management, it's not really gone for him as well. He's got more grey as the time's gone on. So, but from Leeds, I'm not really sure, really. Probably Rafinha or Calvin Phillips for me from Leeds. I think they'd fit into the Leicester team very well.
Ran that Everton game, didn't he, mate? If you watched that one. Ran Everton into the ground that game.
Rafinha is fantastic. Sometimes it can be very ball greedy, though, can't he? When you
I was on about Phillips, but Rafinha ran him ragged as well. Yeah, 100%.
The centre of midfield ran us ragged. Let's not. John, Leicester, Leeds, Newcastle. One player for me.
Vardy for me at Leicester. I think he's that little shit, isn't he, that you need up front? You know, he is. He's just that little shit that fucking will stand on a player's Achilles or something, or grab his balls or something. So for me, Vardy. Leeds, I've got to go with the Rafinha one. Someone put a shout out there before. Listen, I've been talking about Saint-Maximin since I've come on, but I like Joe Linton as well.
Yeah, big up to United Central there. Big up Everton Dark Horses to win the league. Fuckers, man.
Well, that'll do. One question for Kendall. Someone's put on here.
Whoa. Fucking hell. What about mine? What free?
We're not interested in yours, Kendall. What a joke.
Well, we're going to disagree. We're going to disagree with Newcastle's. So for Newcastle, I'd sign Callum Wilson.
No, fuck that.
We need a striker, John. Fucking hell. Our number 2 striker.
Better than him out there.
Right. So Cenk Tosun.
I've just mentioned one, Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, but I would go to Leicester. I wouldn't go for a Jamie Vardy. I'd go for Tielemans.
So would you have Joe Linton than Callum Wilson then?
John, clearly.
Would, yeah.
John would rather have. I mean, the channel's finished, John. Get off. Yeah, let me sort everything out for everyone. Yeah, there you go. Right, so guys, who the fuck says that? Jesus, what the fuck's wrong with you, John?
It's my opinion, you fat bastard. It's my opinion.
Kendall's just sat there and ripped him a new arsehole. Said that Wilson's fan-fucking-tastic, and you're sitting there going, yeah, I'll sign him. Fucking mediocre. That's what you're talking.
So, all right then. So does Callum Wilson, we say we need a striker. Is Callum Wilson the one to push us for that top 4, in your opinion?
More than Joe Linton, absolutely.
Well, I don't agree. That's why he's gone to fucking Newcastle.
I think Andy Carroll's better than Joe Linton.
Fucking hell. I think my fucking dog's better than Joe Linton. I think you're fucking better than Joe Linton, John. From Leeds, I think Everton need a winger, and it would either be. Oh, I really like Jack Harrison, to be honest. Really like Jack Harrison. But there's no doubt Rafinha's fantastic as well. So one of them two. And from Leicester, as I say, it's Tielemans. They're my three.
Tielemans is a fantastic player.
Yeah.
One question for Kendall. Kendall, if you had to pick to manage Newcastle, you'd have got to pick one of these. Steve Bruce or Big Sam?
I hate
Me.
No.
It's all right, John, because if she doesn't, I do.
I even hate him as a
Nigel
person.
Pearson.
Absolute asshole. Why you would get the biggest, most prestige job in England if that's what you want to look at, and literally be the national manager and go and fraud you into money. I hate him. I think he's an awful person. But I think he would save us from relegation. I think mentality-wise, he's probably better than Steve Bruce. So at a very, 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 very big push, I would have Big Sam.
Jesus.
Wow.
At least he works with the players, doesn't he?
Well, I wouldn't say so. Have you seen Leeds? Have you seen West Brom?
No, but he's on the training pitch. Fucking hell. As Kendall said before, Steve Bruce doesn't even make the substitutions.
No. It's not, because opposite West Brom is a McDonald's. It's on the road. There's a McDonald's opposite West Brom. That's where Allardyce's match customer.
Sitting with Sammy Lee.
Thanks.
Right, guys. Look, fantastic. Thank you ever so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I did not intend for this to take an hour and a half. I really didn't. So I'm really sorry. But I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Yeah, good. Well, I want to do more of these, and I want to get involved with other fan channels. Personally,
do we get the call back or not?
Yeah, you've been fucking brilliant. Yeah, we could turn this into like a weekly show if you like. Fucking hell, you fucking made it. Next time though, I won't bring John on halfway through. Like, John can just fuck off. If he says he's not coming on, he's not coming on. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry.
Some of us have got a proper job.
Brilliant. Right. So, guys, thank you ever so much. Guys, if you're still here, whether to the 150, well, I don't know what it is. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure you go over and sub to the 3 channels. The links are in the description. I'll leave it to you 3, Jack. Have you got anything to say to any of these obeying Everton fans?
No, it's just been a pleasure having me on. I think you guys are great. Obviously, talk sense in perspective of Newcastle and Leeds and Everton. It's good to get a opposition fans' perspective of each club, because obviously you don't really follow other clubs, do you? So you don't really know the ins and outs. And obviously, fans like you guys are giving the insights of every club. Obviously, myself for Leicester. So yeah, it's just good to have different people's opinions.
Kendall, what about you?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's nice because a lot of fan channels and a lot of popular fan channels are obviously geared around the big 6. So it's nice, like, when you go into a channel and there's not that sort of,
Is that why you've only been asked to come on this one then, Kendall? Because you're not up there.
Yeah, we're not in the bottom 6 at this point.
Kendall could have millions of subscribers because she hides the number of subs she's got.
I don't have millions of subscribers, but I do hide the number of subs that I've got until I get loads, and then I can actually be like, oh, there we go, I've got loads of subscribers. But no, thank you for having me. It's been really, really good and nice to hear from other fans, like Jack says. So
yeah, I think the best thing about it is, if you're doing streams yourself, you always see the reams and reams and reams of like Leeds comments, and it's like, you only get into that headspace, but when you're on this sort of thing, you get different people's opinions, which is definitely something that I enjoy. It's good debate, isn't it?
Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad. Look, the 3 of you have been fantastic. I've really, really enjoyed it. It's good. Look, the other week we had Chelsea on, we had Man United on, we had I can't remember. We had some of the bigger team, the title challenging teams, and it was just, they're all fantastic. I love all of them, and it's always it shouldn't just be the top six, as Kendall rightly says. It should be that we all interact with each other because we're all a community. You know, us fan channels, we have to stick together because we get as much shit as we get good comments. Do you get what I mean? And we've got to support each other. So thank you ever so much for coming on, guys. I really mean it. Absolutely love you. Comment from Ant Partridge there. Get me on next time. Yeah, we'll have you on next time. We'll get you on. You can talk about West Brom and bore us all fucking senseless about how shit you are. So yeah,
Wayne Harrison. Now the question we all wanted answering: what Kendall's phone number?
There you go.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. I'm really sorry, Kendall. This is what they're like, unfortunately.
Look, you've got to get love from somewhere. It's normally hate, so I'll take the love any day.
Well,
there's plenty of love here for you. I'm telling you that right now.
Can you fucking shut up, John Jesus Wexman? Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you ever so much. And guys, I'll leave it there. I should see you. There's no match for Everton this weekend. Everton against Aston Villa has been called off because the squad has got coronavirus. Fair enough. Is what it is. Speedy recovery to the Villa players. Everton won't have a game, so there won't be no watch along, won't be no match preview, won't be no match reaction. So, guys, if any of you three need a supporter to come on and talk about you lot, I'll be there. Me and John will be there. We'll be there. I'll watch the games with you. We'll do a watch along, and I will comment as if I'm well, I won't do it as if I'm a fan of another club. I'll join you. So, guys, I'll see you soon. Peace.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.